Hello, and welcome to the LOTR Middle Earth and Fantasy channel. Today we're going to be exploring the topic of Tom Bombadillo and what exactly is Tom Bombadillo. To help me discern wisdom and tell me all things in Middle Earth, I have in my possession today the One Ring of Power. Look at the Elvish script on that ring, the One Ring of Power, which I am going to put on my finger. I am more or less immune to the effects as I am more powerful than Sauron, but it does give me knowledge. And I also have Glamdring, a small version of Glamdring, the sword of Gandalf that he uses in The Lord of the Rings. And with these things, they will give me knowledge about what Tom Bombadillo actually is. So there are several theories about Tom Bombadillo, and we're going to go through each one. The first one is that he is actually Eru, a Luvatar. And I don't think that's the case because it is mentioned that a Luvatar is the one, the only one, and he dwells outside the world in the timeless halls. So that right there from Tolkien almost rules out Tom Bombadillo as Eru Iluvatar. And he doesn't really seem to be Eru Iluvatar in personality either. Eru Iluvatar is obviously God, so he's kind of godlike in personality, all-knowing, almighty. And Tom Bombadillo, although while he is very, very mighty in his own domain, he doesn't seem to be Eru Iluvatar, so I can cast that out. The second theory that some people have said that I don't believe is true either is that he is one of the Valar, notably Arome. I don't actually think he's Arome because I think Arome stopped hunting the woods before the First Age even began, and I think all the Valar live in Valinor. So I do not think he is Arome or any of the known Valar. Another theory is that he is a Maiar. But the thing is, I think the Valar actually came to Arda first, and the Maiar followed, and Tom Bombadillo has been here since the first acorn and the first raindrop, because he says so in The Lord of the Rings when he sings his little ballad to Frodo when they're captured by the Burrow Right. So Tom Bombadillo I don't think is a Maiar. His wife Goldberry actually might be a Maiar, but that's another discussion altogether. For those of you who don't know, Tolkien actually wrote a separate book about this called The Adventures of Tom Bombadillo. So if you're interested in that, you should pick up that book, read it, and it'll give you more insight into Tom Bombadillo, but I don't actually think it'll answer what he actually is. But I don't think he's a Maiar because he also said he's been here since the beginning and before the great enemy came from the outside. Now, if he's talking about Sauron, he could be anything because Sauron was not the first one to come into Middle-earth. But by the way he's talking about it, I don't think he's actually talking about the second Dark Lord Sauron. I think he's talking about the first Dark Lord, or Melkor. And we know he came very, very early into Middle-earth. I think before anyone else, or at the same time as the Valar. I forgot which one. So I do not think he is one of the Maiar. And the other thing is, we know the most Maiar are actually affected by the One Ring of Power because Saruman was corrupted by Sauron, and Gandalf seemed to be afraid of the ring, and Radagast the Brown also seemed to be afraid of Sauron. So I don't believe he is one of the Maiar because when he put on the ring, nothing happened. He had no desire for the ring. The ring did not corrupt him. He didn't even disappear. So I think that shows that in his realm, he is definitely more powerful than Sauron in his realm because the ring had no effect on him. Sauron's corrupting power had no effect on him, and he didn't go into the Wraith realm. And Sauron could not read his mind or have any power over him when Tom Bombadillo put on the ring. So I don't think he's one of the Maiar because we saw that many of the Maiar the ring actually had an effect on them. So I don't think he's a Maiar. Now, I think the leading theory is that he's just an enigma, an earth spirit. And Tolkien himself actually said that some mysteries are better left unsolved. So this is actually a possibility, and I do think this is definitely one of the cases where I have to say, oh, this is definitely a possibility. It's probably even better than the theory that I'm going to show you. So he could just be an earth spirit, an enigma from the beginning that's basically has absolute power within his domain. Because Elrond actually said, someone actually proposed giving the ring to Tom Bombadil, and Elrond said, "Oh, that would be a really bad idea because he would probably just lose it, and since the ring has no effect on him, he would just forget about it." So that's actually not that wasn't an option because Bombadil would not destroy it. So he's there's a good chance he's just an Earth spirit and an enigma that Tolkien thought up that is a mystery that's not meant to be solved. So and some and he actually said some mysteries aren't meant to be solved, and there needs to be mystery in every story. So Tom Bombadil may just be one of those enigmas and mysteries in Middle Earth that has been there from the beginning. And yes, if you're wondering, he is technically the eldest thing in Middle Earth, oldest and fatherless. Elrond, I think, actually confirmed that. Now, here's my theory about what Tom Bombadil potentially could be. He's not one of the known Valar. There's 14 of them, ranging from Manwë to Niesa, the spouse of Tulkas. He's not one of the 14 known Valar, but it said in the beginning that there were many Ainur that were dwelling with Ilúvatar, and many of the greatest ones came down to Arda. Many, but not all, were named among the known Valar. So he could be one of the greater Ainur that is equal to the Valar, that's just not named among the known Valar, because there were more of those with Ilúvatar, and not all of them chose to come down to Arda. But we know that Tulkas came down later, so he might have just come down and settled in his area, but he's not named among the 14 known Valar. And this would actually make sense, seeing his might, seeing how powerful he is, because he had the Burrowite was obviously afraid of him, and he did not put up any kind of fight. And I think in his domain, he's shown that he has full power within that realm. Even the willow trees, old man Willow actually listened to him as well as like I said, the Burrowite. And as I mentioned before, when he put on the ring, he didn't disappear. He didn't go into the Wraith world, and he was not ensnared by Sauron, which to me means that he's actually more powerful than Sauron. Sauron, we know, is one of the most mighty of the Maiar. I think there are a couple of Maiar that could contend or are more powerful than him, but he's definitely one of the top tier Maiar in my opinion. He's more powerful than Gandalf or Aloran. He's more powerful than Ragadas, more powerful than Saruman or the Blue Wizards. So I think if he was a Maiar, there was a good chance he would be corrupted by the ring. But the ring had no effect on him, and the only thing we know in the world that's actually more powerful than a Maiar is someone of the Valar class. So he could be an unknown mighty Ainur equal to the Valar that's just not named among them and they don't know about. He could have come to Earth in the beginning, but just didn't help or didn't really take part in the shaping of Arda like the rest of the Valar. And he was unknown to Melkor because he was not named among the Valar, and he took no part in the events of the first or second ages or anything prior. So he could have just been one of the unknown Valar, and that's actually my theory. Like, I guess you wouldn't call him the Valar, because the Valar are the gods of the world and they shape the earth. I would just call him one of the mighty Ainur that's unknown to the other Ainur in Middle Earth right now. And I really do think that could be a possibility too. So I think the two possibilities are he's one of the unknown greater Ainur, or that he's an earth spirit. So that is my theory on Tom Bombadil. Let me know what you think in the comments, what you think of my artifacts, and I think I'm going to get more of these sooner or later. Maybe I'll get like the full version of this sword, because that's pretty cool. Alright, thank you for watching. Have a nice day.